what you want me to kind of represent on your behalf. The third thing I do is to look at things that are really unfair or impact negatively on young people and try and change it. So I try and change laws or programs or policies that are having a not so great impact and try to improve them to make sure that they're actually working for you. And the last thing I do is try and create opportunities for you to have a voice. And it's probably that one which has led us here today. So essentially, since I started, I've spent months and months in conversation with young people. I've been all across the state. I've met with young people from diverse backgrounds. I've met with all ages. I've met in all sorts of different places. But one of the really consistent things that kept happening when I was talking, particularly with young people from migrant refugee backgrounds, was they wanted to talk about work. And so there was a lot of conversations where young people were saying, we don't know what the jobs of the future might be, we don't know where that work is going to be. Is it going to be overseas? Is it going to be here? Is it going to be in the country? Is it going to be in the suburbs, in the city? Where's this all going to happen? Are we actually learning the things we need? Are the things that we get taught in schools and universities going to be the things we need in order to get jobs? And the really critical thing that people kept talking to me about was saying, we just can't get a break. People want us to have experience, they talk about jobs where we need to have done X, Y and Z, and no one will give us a go. So how are we actually going to get there? So this was a constant conversation. And so I thought I could keep on having this conversation over and over with small groups of people. But I thought perhaps it would be good if we could bring everyone together to have that conversation collectively. So I went to the AMRC and I said, I think there's a really good opportunity for us to try and get all sorts of young people in the room together and see if they can tell us what they think the solutions are. And in great AMRC style, as they always do, they said, we can do it well, we can make it a big event, let's have a symposium, let's invite service providers as well so they can hear and they can support at the same time. And hence, we've arrived at today, which is that opportunity. This is for you as young people to have your voice, to have your say, to tell me in particular what it is that you want me to represent for you when I go into other forums. And this is, lots of young people say we're not heard, or when we speak we're not listened to. I promise you that today will be a day of listening on our behalf. I will be here all day. I will walk around and have conversations, and at the end of the day we can work out where to from here. But speak up, speak loud, speak your mind, feel open and free to kind of advise us in any way you wish. And I'm looking forward to a fantastic day, so thank you.
Thank you, Helen. It reminds me that we haven't really had a youth forum. No, we had a youth forum last year, but I remember that South Australia had its first youth conference nationally back in the days of, I think around 2003, 2004, which led to quite a lot of policy change in terms of migrant and refugee youth in education and a whole lot of other things. So hopefully that you will be able to recommend and advise us, policymakers who are here, people from departments, service providers and government a way ahead, and that is really, really important. Now, it's my greatest pleasure to introduce somebody who I think is really, really important to our cause, mainly because this person herself has come as a child to South Australia. I hope it's South Australia or Australia first, and has the same sort of experiences as many of you have here who are migrants and or refugees. And that's terribly important for us because sometimes we need to experience what other people have in order to be able to be passionate enough and committed enough to be able to state it as it is. So I know that the Honourable Jing Lee, MLC, Assistant Minister to the Premier, representing the Honourable Stephen Marshall, MP, Premier of South Australia, is this person. I'm not going to go into her bio except to let you know that we do have a champion, at least at the political level. We need other champions, we need lots of champions, but she certainly is our champion in disguise. So, without further ado, I introduce the Honourable Jing Lee.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, it is a great morning when the sun is shining and I feel instantly safe as well as inspired. There's no other two people in South Australia that I feel most safe and inspired are the two people right here, which is Eugenia as well as Helen. Yes. When you have two people that are passionate about young people, passionate about delivering services to serve our community, Helen and Eugenia, when they come in partnership to organise this particular youth symposium, I feel very inspired and I know that you'll be excited as well, and that's why you are here. You are here going to speak out, you're going to talk about issues that are important to you in the space of education, in the space of training and career development. In 2014, unfortunately, my mum was very, very sick. And while she was in the hospital, there were lots of aunties and uncles visiting her. And they asked her a question and said, why would you send your children? Why would you ever want to migrate to a country, a foreign country, where English is your second language? Mum and Dad doesn't speak much English at all. And when I arrived in 1979 with my siblings, I didn't speak much English at all. I went to a language school, a second language school to learn English, together with refugees children from Vietnam, Cambodia and Laos. And until today, they are very much still my friends. And when that question was posed to my mother to ask her why she's chosen Australia, or my parents have chosen Australia to be our new country, her answers were simple. It is because my parents and she wants her children to receive the best education. And not only the best education, but she wanted the children, her children, to be in a place where equal opportunity, where there are lots of opportunity for her children to grow, to learn, to develop, to be responsible citizens of a country. And we're lucky. And I am fortunate that my parents have made that decision to choose Australia as a destination and as a new country. Because the life that Australia has given to me, to my siblings, to my brothers, have been enormous. And that took us to the pathway of me becoming the first Malaysian Chinese to be a member of parliament in the state. And I don't want that to stop with me. I want that to be the beginning of all the migrants that you are presented with the opportunity for pathway for education, for training, and for employment. Today, I'm representing the Honourable Stephen Marshall, the Premier of South Australia. And I want to share this. The Liberal government under Stephen Marshall have already injected investment into schools, into the literacy guarantee program, more money for education, and we're also looking at 20,800 apprenticeships and traineeships for young people. So those sort of investments are the commitment of the government. Today when I look across the room, I see many, many familiar faces. Community leaders, as well as leaders and stakeholders, service providers, and a young panel, and young leaders. And I know South Australia's future will be looking bright because of your commitment to make a difference. I'd love to hear all your thoughts and voices so that we'll be sharing notes with Eugenia and Helen to look at policy development that could advance the people of South Australia, particularly the young people. Can I think, is that Peter Soltis there? Wave. Now, Peter over there is the CEO of Adelaide Council. He comes from also a multicultural background. We sit on the same board for the Australian Day Council of South Australia. We're also passionate about developing a range of policies, a range of programs and initiatives for people, especially young people, to advance. I think I will stop here because I want to listen to others and I want to be able to take